Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the Book of the Dead. Known originally as Pert Hu, or Coming Forth by Day, is an ancient Egyptian funerary text designed to assist the deceased on their journey through the Duat, the complex underworld landscape of trials, judgment, and eventual rebirth into eternal life. Developed over centuries, this compendium of spells, prayers, and instructions served primarily to guide souls safely past obstacles, ensuring successful passage through divine judgment and entry into the eternal paradise known as the Field of Reeds. Its origins trace back to earlier funerary writings, including the Pyramid Texts of the Old Kingdom and the Coffin Texts of the Middle Kingdom. The Pyramid Texts, dating roughly from 2600 BCE to 2100 BCE, were initially exclusive to pharaohs, etched into the walls of their burial chambers. Later, during the Middle Kingdom period, approximately 2000 BCE to 1600 BCE, the Coffin Texts extended similar funerary rites to nobles and officials, inscribed directly onto the coffins, hence Coffin Texts. By the New Kingdom era, which was approximately 1550 BCE to 1070 BCE, these texts had evolved into the widely assembled Book of the Dead, standardized on papyrus scrolls and available to everyone, even beyond the elite classes. Central to the Book of the Dead is a rich tapestry of symbolic representations illustrating critical concepts about life, death, and cosmic balance. One prominent motif is the weighing of the heart, where the deceased heart is measured against the feather of Ma'at, embodying truth and cosmic order. In this pivotal judgment, the heart outweighs the feather, symbolizing an imbalance and ethical impurity. The soul is devoured by Ammit, a deity composed of a lion, a crocodile, and hippopotamus parts, thus ending the individual's existence. Conversely, a lighter heart grants the soul passage into eternal life in the divine paradise in the Field of Reeds. Another key concept is the dual notion represented by the Ba and the Ka. The Ba, often depicted as a bird with a human head, symbolizes mobility and individuality of the soul, enabling it to traverse freely between the world of the living and the afterlife. The Ka, meanwhile, denotes the vital essence or life force, requiring regular offerings from the living to maintain the deceased's spiritual presence in the afterlife. Equally significant is the solar journey of Ra, wherein the deceased joins the sun god on his nightly voyage through the Duat. This journey signifies rebirth, regeneration, and the cyclical nature of existence, with each sunrise marking a successful transversal of nighttime dangers and symbolic renewal. The Book of the Dead also prominently features serpents and other guardian entities within the Duat, serving dual roles as protectors or impediments. Some serpents align with Atum, symbolizing cosmic orders, where others, like Apep, represent chaos and threat. Moreover, protective amulets and magical incantations were crucial elements within the text. Specific spells endowed the deceased with powers of transformation, divine protection, and enhanced ability to navigate the underworld. The scarab amulet, representing Kefri, was specifically critical in preventing the heart from revealing unfavorable truths during judgment, thus safeguarding the deceased's eternal destiny. The concepts articulated within the Book of the Dead have significantly influenced numerous cultural and religious traditions beyond ancient Egypt. In Greek and Roman mythologies, parallels are observed in the depictions of the afterlife and divine judgment. The Egyptian concept of Assyrian judgment and the journey through the Duat share similarities with Greco-Roman concepts of the afterlife, such as the trials of Hades and the blissful realm of Elysium. Early Christian beliefs about judgment and afterlife also show considerable influence from Egyptian traditions. The Egyptian weighing of the heart mirrors the Christ's last judgment, where souls are assessed based on their earthly deeds. Similarly, the Egyptian delineation between reward and punishment, reflected in the Duat's trials, closely resembles Christian concepts of heaven and hell. Hermeticism and alchemical traditions embodied the Corpus Hermeticum also owe substantial intellectual debt to the Book of the Dead. Ideas about spiritual rebirth, personal transformation, and esoteric wisdom trace their roots back to ancient Egyptian rituals and funerary texts. In Eastern spiritual traditions, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, Bardo Thoral, offers another parallel. Like the Egyptian text, it provides detailed guidance for navigating the afterlife, emphasizing enlightenment, rebirth, and spiritual transcendence. Additionally, symbolism from the Book of the Dead, including the Eye of Horus, pyramids, and esoteric teachings, has permitted Freemasonry and various Western occult practices. These elements underscore the enduring legacy and pervasive influence of Egyptian ritual through and across diverse cultural landscapes. And it's one of the reasons why I'm spending so much time in ancient Egypt and could honestly spend even more time, because this is a very basic overview. Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom and magic, plays an essential and multifaceted role within the Book of the Dead. As a divine scribe, Thoth meticulously records the outcomes of the critical judgment in the weighing of the heart ceremony. His role ensures accuracy and fairness in determining the eternal fate of souls. Beyond his function as a recorder, Thoth embodies divine wisdom and magical authority, credited with authoring sacred texts known as the Scrolls of Knowledge. These texts grant the deceased spells and incantations necessary for successful navigation and power within the underworld. Thoth also serves as a protective guide to the deceased, assisting them in overcoming challenges throughout their journey in the Duat. His assistance is pivotal in aiding souls to successfully confront Assyrian judgment and maintain balance, or mat, between the mortal and the divine realms, as well as order against chaos. As a lunar deity, Thoth symbolizes the cyclical nature of time, critical for accurately timing funerary rites and rituals. His lunar associations reinforce the importance of cosmic cycles and temporal rhythms in these funerary practices. And finally, Thoth's legacy extends beyond Egyptian tradition, profoundly influencing Greek and Roman concepts of divine judgment, as well as shaping Hermeticism through its association with Hermes Trismegistus. His presence in these later philosophical and mystical traditions, and even later in the occult, underscores his enduring significance in spiritual and esoteric thought. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, traditionally viewed as a collection of funerary texts, may also be considered a tool that influenced human cognitive development. After all, it was originally in the pharaohs, then went to the middle class, and then finally was available for everybody. So it was something the whole community could use and build upon and focus with as a community driving tool. By guiding individuals through concepts of the afterlife and consciousness, it potentially shaped neurological pathways and contributed to the evolution of human consciousness. The Book of the Dead provides structured guidance for navigating non-linear realms such as the Duat, or the afterlife, the field of reeds. If we consider the brain as a complex processor capable of intricate interactions, this text can be likened to an early simulation, training neural networks to think beyond linear experiences. Memorizing its paths and symbols may have prepared ancient minds for altered states, including dreams and potentially post-death consciousness. The judgment scene, where the heart is weighed against the feather of Mat, symbolizes a process of evaluating one's life. A heart free of imbalance was believed to continue existence after death, and this mirrors how coherence in one's thoughts and actions might be necessary for sustained awareness beyond physical existence. And if you haven't yet, go check out the previous episode on taboo topics of death. Many spells in the Book of the Dead aim to help the deceased avoid obstacles and transform into different beings, reassembling modern techniques for lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences. Training the brain to follow these paths can enhance metacognition, strengthening the ability to maintain identity and recall in altered states. So you can lucid dream and remember your dream more frequently, more often. This suggests a cognitive advantage in processing non-ordinary reality more effectively. It helps you translate your subconscious in a way that you can understand and utilize in your daily waking life. In Egyptian belief, the field of reeds was a perfected copy of the real world, a stable structure of existence beyond physical life, aligning this with the idea of information being preserved beyond physical death. If consciousness involves complex interactions within the brain, the Book of the Dead may have been an early attempt to retain memory and self-awareness across different states of existence. The Book of the Dead wasn't just read by ancient peoples, it was ritually spoken, inscribed, and visualized. This active process would have engaged neural pathways and strengthened neuroplasticity. So such rituals would have created an energetic imprint similar to modern practices like meditation or repetitive chanting, affecting neural oscillations and cognitive patterns. Let's take a look at 4 ways that the Book of the Dead would have influenced human evolution. It would provide training for nonlinear thought via expanded cognitive flexibility, allowing for future generations to think beyond just rigid survival patterns. There's also neurological resilience in altered states, so you have strengthened memory and identity continuity beyond your waking reality. So again, you can process your subconscious a little bit better. And third is the development of consciousness. These rites and rituals would have encouraged mental coherence, and that potentially reduced cognitive dissonance. And so you're able to progress further and explore more. And lastly, it prototyped the afterlife as a construct. And this prepared the mind to process and stabilize awareness post-mortem, possibly aiding the evolutionary transition towards a species capable of contemplating a multidimensional existence. The Book of the Dead served beyond its role as a funerary manuscript. It functioned as a philosophical, spiritual, and neurological tool, preparing human consciousness for higher dimensional awarenesses. Through its structured guidance, this text influenced cognition by training the mind in nonlinear thinking and helping establish pathways for consciousness retention beyond physical existence. Its influence extended through subsequent civilizations, significantly shaping religious beliefs, spiritual practices, and esoteric traditions across cultures, evident in Hermeticism, Gnosticism, and later mystical traditions, and even in modern spirituality. As humanity moves towards becoming a 4D hyperspecies capable of quantum conscious navigation, the Book of the Dead emerges as an early cognitive blueprint. It provided foundational methods for perceiving reality in nonlinear terms, enhancing our quantum memory preservation beyond physical death, and developing mental resilience necessary for higher dimensional perception and existence. So that wraps it up for today. As always, the sources are in the channel bio. Also, for some of these concepts, please go check out the previous episode on death. That'll help kind of link up some of the things that we talked about here. And anyway, thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. Don't forget to ring the bell like the winner that you are. And I will see you next time.